chansam pamage sadam bala. Yatsen choging junye pamajane sudra. Kodu kandra mamba kor kieke jesu dadre. Shingula chishe suso guru pema siddhi ho. Om ahum benza guru pema siddhi ho. Om ahum benza guru pema siddhi ho. May the Buddha's blessings ever awaken and illumine our minds. May the Enlightened One's blessing and inspiration ever unfold in our good hearts. May the inconceivable blessing of enlightenment, of awakefulness itself, dispel the momentary illusion we've ever been separate, incomplete, or apart. Homage to the Buddha-ness within. May all realize it and be benefited by it for a better world and a better future for all the generations. And may all be included in our sterling aspirations and dialogue today.
What a beautiful way to begin, sir.
This is an ancient yet timeless Tibetan prayer and invocation called the seven-line prayer to the Lotus Guru, the founder of Tibetan Buddhism, of Tantric Buddhism, of Dzogchen Padmasambhava, the lotus-born guru who came from India to Tibet in the 8th century A.D. and more or less civilized the savage Tibetan land. So converted them to Buddhism, but
from the Bon,
educated.
The Bon people.
Well, some of them were Bon, and some not even having any ethical or religious or education
At all.
At all.
Now, can you do it in Yiddish?
Gewalt. Oi.
A fellow like you should be able to be
My mother is turning over in her grave now, thinking he can't do that in Yiddish.
All those years
She would have a more smart answer, like that was Yiddish. She'd say, "I heard Yiddish.
It's my son.
It's all good.
What are you talking?
That was Yiddish. Enough. God understands." I mean Buddha. That's my mother. My mother was a funny one.
Oh, that's funny. I love how she shows up in your book.
Joyce Miller, the Mama Lama.
Yeah, the Mama. That's beautiful. We are seated today here at A Better World with Lama Suryadas. This is Mitchell J. Raven for A Better World, as you know. And we are going to be speaking about his latest book, Buddha Standard Time, which I realize should be BST, sort of like we have EST.
Yeah, this is BST.
This is BST.
No
right?
BS, but BST.
No, exactly. A big difference.
Yeah.
And it's actually a wonderful book. I've been enjoying it a lot.
Thank you.
I feel like you really helped to rivet us, the reader, in the moment.
I hope so.
Take another perspective on time, which, my old Tai Chi teacher who I was telling you about earlier, Bob Loomis, used to say that time was one of the most essential, important subjects a human being can study.
Well, I should have interviewed you for this book, then I could have plagiarized your teacher, Bob.
Yes, we would have both been happy.
Ancient wisdom, a.k.a. plagiarizing.
That's right, exactly.
Like Shakespeare did.
That's right, exactly. So what inspired you to write this? I mean, you're so voluminous. You've written some wonderful books. We've had you on the show before, talking about some of the books, the Buddha Heart, etc. You were here last, actually, just after 9/11. And here we are, interestingly, again, 10 years later. Well, it's interesting.
Yes, we just had the 10-year...
Talk about time cycles,
10-year commemoration of that terrible day. I was in Washington, D.C. for that. We had a Buddhist peace event. Weekend.
You helped us through our show back then to grieve and to experience the feelings that came up for all of us at the time. You were in New York and you were kind enough to come.
Well, that
So
was a real learning moment, a teaching moment, and I think we all remember how everybody was very vulnerable and collaborative and empathic at that time.